Krishnan, Senior Director HR, AMESA Global Public Health, is an HR professional with multi-geography, cross-industry expertise across IT, outsourcing, banking BPO, telecom, cloud, consulting and healthcare. Proven track record in talent acquisition, HR operations, business HR, employer branding, M&A, due diligence, performance management and benefits. A creative, solutions-driven leader with high energy, strong decision-making and a passion for driving positive change. She has worked as Senior Manager HR at Trigon Technologies, Director and Senior Director at AMESA RBU and Global Public Health. She was recognized in the list of top 16 women HR of 2016 India on the occasion of Women's Day. It is with great pleasure that I invite Ms. Yamini Krishnan. Please joining me in giving her a huge round of applause.
Thank you, all the fathers, for this opportunity. It's been a great privilege and an honor to stand in front of you and share some of my insights. As Mr. Sanjeev actually mentioned, he spoke about a lot of Fortune 500 organizations being present in India and Bangalore. IQVIA happens to be one of the Fortune 500 organization. In fact, we topped the list of healthcare segment within the Fortune 500. And we have close to around 23,000 employees in India. And I stand before you to share some of the insights, both from the organizational perspective and also how maybe some of my experiences can help you pick up tiny bits of insights on how you navigate the ways of working in the ever-changing corporate culture, right? So the values and the systems in the organizations are constantly changing. The industry practices and trends are going through major changes, especially a very rapid change in the last 4 or 5 years that we have seen. When you look at it in terms of organizations adopting the agility with which they are changing and accepting changes, it becomes extremely important that we as an individual keep up the pace with it and make sure that we make our presence felt and contribute to the organizational success, right? So I want to stand here not as an HR person, but more of sharing the insights on how you can help do this transition from campus to corporate as you navigate the new ways of working in the industry that is changing, right? The first part, how many of you had working parents? If you can raise your hands. I'm sure a lot of our parents were working, right? But the way they must have looked at their entire experience, their years of being associated with the organizations is not the same anymore, right? My parents worked with government organizations for probably 30, 35 years at a stretch. But when it came to my generation, we were okay with the changes. We looked at opportunities that helped us go forward. We looked at pieces and we looked at opportunities that could give us growth, that could sustain our passion and make sure that we were able to contribute to multiple industries. I think that's how you would probably see various industries when they introduced me. I've had the privilege of working with banking BPOs, software organizations, outsourcing agencies, technology companies, telecom organizations, and now in the healthcare industry for the last 8.5 years or so. So being in HR probably helps because you are industry agnostic. You can actually spread your wings wherever people are involved. But I do feel as an individual, you can script your own path, right? All it needs is how do you focus on what is your contribution, and more importantly, how quickly you are adapting to these changes and how you keep yourself relevant as you go forward. Some of the pointers that I wanted to actually talk about are, as you know, the changes are coming across in terms of hybrid work cultures. Organizations are no longer 9 to 5 kind of offices. In fact, a lot of organizations are giving you complete flexibility of being hybrid. That basically means you can work from wherever you are, whether it is remote or from offices or from even sitting in a cafe, right? But again, that's a facility and a flexibility given to ensure that you manage, you balance your work life, and more importantly, you continue to deliver what you're supposed to do, right? A lot of youngsters, a lot of our employee workforce actually are using this for their advantage. They make sure that their presence is felt with the continued contribution, right? So thrive in both the environments. That means whether you're working from home or whether you go to offices, you need to adapt yourself to make sure that you're contributing. Apart from that, I would personally recommend and suggest, in case there's an opportunity, grab that opportunity to go to offices, because only then you're going to build your personal connections. You're going to work with colleagues who are going to build friendships. For decades, I've had friends who have been my colleagues from last 2.5 decades, right? We don't see that happening anymore, but that can actually come back into trend if you guys go back to offices. It can foster collaboration, it can foster teamwork, and more importantly, you can have your bosses and managers as mentors who will guide you through life lessons. It can help you in your emotional and mental well-being when you try to actually work together. The These are our trends that we observe as we see youngsters and various generations coming to work. People are so comfortable working from homes or sitting in isolation in a corner and doing their work. They're delivering perfect, completely relevant work, but how they are spaced out as an individual actually comes out when they shape their own lives, right? So I do encourage, if there's an opportunity when you do this transition from campus to corporate, if there is an opportunity to go back to offices even once or twice a week, make sure your presence is felt and you grab those opportunities. Everybody spoke about AI and automation, the two new buzzwords. I say this has been part of our life for quite a long time, right? The trends are picking up, the organizations are changing. Every organization has invested in AI and automation of various processes, efficiencies. How do we make sure that it helps in productivity of people? But there's nothing to fret. AI is not here to take away jobs. AI is here to enhance what you're doing. But at the same time, if you keep yourself relevant, if you're ahead of this tech and digital curve, I'm sure each one of you will be able to take the power from that AI and automation and go forward in your lives, right? Because somewhere I personally learned that you need to adapt quickly, right? So, I actually did a global business management course from IIM Calcutta. Even there, even in any of your tier 1 colleges, they didn't actually teach us how do you manage people from behind a laptop screen who are spread across remotely. But then what taught us was COVID literally made us change overnight, even for a people friendly, completely a happy person like me who like to be with people, to actually sit in front of a laptop and manage people. Right now, I'm managing employees sitting in more than 28 plus countries. It's definitely not easy because this is not a regular office setup that we do, right? We actually work in different time zones. We actually work with people with different cultures and sensitivities. Most importantly, you just need to be open to the learning and then go with utilizing the tools that are available to you. A lot of times these tools work on the data that we as humans are putting into them. I'm sure all of you have heard garbage in and garbage out, right? So you put the right kind of data, and data is going to drive a lot of these solutions that we are going to have as an impact in the organizations as we go ahead with our careers. The next important point that I wanted to touch upon is prioritize your own well-being, whether you're in college today or whether you go into corporates or whether you start your own businesses as Tuti has done. It's so important to focus on your own personal well-being. That's not just important for you as an individual, but for your close-knit family, for your very close circle of friends, but also for the community. We do see, from being in HR, I've seen a lot of these kind of challenges and concerns coming up in the organizations. Most of the organizations now have a well-established assistance programs to help in emotional health. But I would say it's important that each one of you focus on the 4 pillars of wellness: physical, emotional, mental, and most importantly, financial, because we forget it. A lot of us who had working parents, maybe some of the things came very easily. So today, the essence of money may not actually have that much of relevance or importance, but it is very important you take care of that financial wellness as well. Emotional health is very important. Mental health, there's a lot of focus because we do a lot of study, we do a lot of research. Maybe in the next few years or a decade, we are going to see a lot of challenges in terms of mental health concerns in the younger generations that are coming. That's why I mentioned in my earlier point, seek the opportunities to be with others. Don't sit in a corner and think that that is going to solve the problem. It's very important that you connect and build, open up and share. You have wealth of experience in your professors, in your friends, in your family, and people like us who would be always available to reach out and help at any point of time. But what is important is to seek these opportunities, right? Uh, Also, every organization has diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. These are no longer a checklist item. We make a conscious effort to bring in different perspectives from people from different aspects. So, gender is no longer the diversity agenda. Every one of you is unique. You bring in different perspectives, make that difference count. Okay, don't let that create differences, but make that your strength to contribute, to build communities, and be part of this diversity agenda in the organizations wherever you go, so that your unique strengths can get celebrated. Uh, Most importantly, all of you at some point are going to be future leaders, right? I'm very sure there would be so many of you standing like me here talking to your future alumni organizations, colleges, or even organizations. Very important to be the right kind of leader. What that means is lead your teams correctly, with a lot of positive engagement, build a sustainability culture, and more importantly, influencing them, your teams, in the right way by doing the right things. As a leader, you are going to play a very big role in shaping up the future generations. So, doing the right thing is always of utmost importance. So, as a leader, you need to be authentic, you need to work with integrity, and more importantly, don't ever let go of what you have as your core strength of subject matter expertise. When it is required, roll up the sleeves and don't hesitate to do the groundwork. That's how you will be able to teach and sustain the future generations. uh, I would take a pause there, but then one last point that I wanted to stress upon is build your communication skills. The soft skills are going to be extremely important. Uh, the reason I say is I think we are losing touch with even the writing part of it. That may no longer be relevant, but what is going to be important is how do you communicate, whether you're talking in front of your small group of people, whether you're attending interviews for your job opportunities, or whether you're communicating in the right way with the people around you. The interpersonal skills are going to be extremely important as you do this transition from being maybe from the teenagers to young adults, from campus to corporate. Every one of you need to see how you can build up on your core skills of communication, whether it is in writing, emails, Obviously, yes, chat GPT will definitely help, but then the copy paste is not going to, because organizations are, if we think we are smart, the organizations have tools that are smarter than us. So please be authentic in everything that you want to communicate, and make sure that you build, constantly learn, invest in yourself, and grab the opportunities as they come. Uh, at any given point of time, do not hesitate, do not hold back. Raise your hand and grab the opportunities, and that's how your journey is going to be extremely interesting and successful. Thank you for this opportunity, and wishing you all the very best as you continue your journey. Thank you.